Dear participants, welcome to the 8th session of the FTP. Today we have renowned professor of IIT Delhi, Professor Sukumar Mishra as a speaker. The title of his talk is Green Technology for Indian Perspective. A short bio about Professor Mishra. Professor Sukumar Mishra received his PhD in Electrical Engineering from NIT Rourkela in 1992 and 2000 respectively. After spending 9 years as a lecturer in Sabalpur University, Odisha, Professor Mishra joined BPUT Odisha as a reader at Electrical Department and served there for a period of 2 years. Presently, Dr. Mishra is a professor at IIT Delhi and has been its part for last 18 years. Professor Mishra has won many accolades throughout his academic tenure in 27 years. He has been the recipient of Young Scientist Award 1999 by Odisha Vigyan Academy, INSA Medal for Young Scientist 2002, INAE Young Engineer Award 2002, INAE Silver Jubilee Young Engineer Award 2012, the Samantha Chandra Shekhar Award 2016, Bimal Bose Award Engineering Award 2019, and NASI Reliance Platinum Jubilee Award 2019. He has been selected as Mission Innovation National Champion 2019 under the Mission Innovation Initiative to Accelerate Clean Energy in India. He has been granted fellowship from academics like NASI India, NAAE India, and professional societies like IIT UK, IETE India, IE India. He is also recognized as a INAE Industry Academic Distinguished Professor. Apart from all the research and academic collaborations, Professor Mishra is very actively involved in industrial collaborations. Professor Mishra is currently acting as a ABB chair professor and has been previously delegated at NTPC, INAE, and Power Grid chair professor. He has also served as an independent director of the Cross Border Power Transmission Company Limited and River Engineer Private Limited. Professor Mishra has also carried out many important industrial consultations with Tata Power, Microtech, and others. Professor Mishra is a great enthusiast of innovation and has supported many startups in the past and recently has incorporated a new company named Silov Solutions Private Limited under the Companies Act 2013. The company specifically deals in the products related to renewable energy sources utilizable at household scale as well as commercial setups. For example, bidirectional electric vehicle supply equipment, AC-based EV charger, DC-based EV charger, grid-connected solar inverter, smart DC home management system, online UPS, etc. Professor Mishra research expertise lies in the field of power system, power quality studies, renewable energy, and smart grid. Also, he has functioning as an associate dean R&D at IIT Delhi from March 2020. Professor Mishra has also authored more than 70 IEEE transaction journals, 30 IT journals, and 30 other international journal papers. So today I welcome Professor Sukumar Mishra, sir. And sir, I would like to hand over the session to you.
Yeah, thank you, Rishi. We will be discussing about the solar rooftop integration into the grid and some of the issues that will come in the integration philosophy. We know that the solar system there is a misconception that it is quite land consuming. However, the solar system in reality is not land consuming. So from this, we see that if we have to go for a 1 kilowatt rooftop solar system, then we have to go for only that is 12 square meter of area, which converts to 130 square feet of rooftop area. And that should be shadow free area, in fact. And if we extrapolate that to the whole Indian system and Indian grid, which is 250 gigawatt, then we get it to be approximately 3000 square kilometer, which is just 0.1% of the whole India geographical area. However, if we extrapolate that for electricity unit, a rooftop solar system will approximately produce 4 units per day. As a result, the capacity utilization of the solar panel is around 1 upon 6, which is around 15%. This thing is gradually improving day by day because the efficiency of the solar system is increasing. Just 1 minute.
Hello.
So it is the capacity of the solar panel is 1 upon 6 and it is just 15%. However, this 15% is gradually improving because the efficiency of the system is increasing. Now, this says that to have a full solar energy output for the whole country, even we will be able to do that with the rooftop which is available in the Indian subcontinent. Now, this solar system can be divided into two parts, autonomous system and grid connected system. In the autonomous system, the source and load has to be balanced. Therefore, it is called as load following mode of operation. And because it is to be balanced always, a coordination among source is always required. And since the load is a variable one, as well as source is a variable one in case of solar system, the energy storage is a requirement for a autonomous mode. On the other hand, for the grid connected mode of operation, since the voltage of the grid is fixed, we cannot do anything with the voltage. Then we can only inject current. So that current injection is there. So we can inject real and reactive power to the grid because voltage into current will become the power. However, because we have the current injection and we can vary the current injection, it is unlike the load following mode of operation. We can go for grid supportive function derived from the solar panel output. We can go for different current production according to the frequency and according to the voltage so that we'll be able to generate the grid providing support. Further, this solar system can be divided into two parts, the three-phase and single-phase. And in the grid connected concept, this can be three-phase as well as single-phase also. And based on what is our availability, whether it is single-phase or three-phase, we can do the connection accordingly. This is the basically bifurcation or the classification in the single phase and three phase domain. And you can see here that the overall in the single phase, it can be single stage, double stage, with energy storage or without energy storage. And similarly in the three phase also, it can be three phase 3-wire or three phase 4-wire. And similarly, the division can be obtained. Now, in a grid connected mode, that is rooftop solar system, we have to go for MPPT operation. So generally there will be an algorithm and very widely used algorithm is perturbed and absorb algorithm. And sometimes also we go for incremental conductance approach. Now, this MPPT algorithm, when put into the control, then it will always extract maximum power from the photovoltaic system. And because the power generation is fluctuating, if it is not grid connected in an isolated mode, we have to go for certain energy storage system to absorb the fluctuating power of the source as well as the load. This energy storage also allows the excess energy to be stored and used when photovoltaic generation is absent. So if we see the PV characteristics, then the maximum power comes somewhere here. And if we can properly maintain the DC voltage at a desired point, we'll be able to extract the maximum power from the solar photovoltaic panel. However, if we want to derate it, instead of producing maximum power, if we want to produce certain less than that, then also we can do, and we can go for a derated mode of operation of the solar photovoltaic system. This derated mode of operation can be equivalent to a battery operation, so that it may help in reducing the energy storage system to some extent. And in the grid connected mode, this derated operation helps providing the ancillary services like frequency response, voltage response, etc. In the grid connected mode, there is a very important point which is called synchronization requirement. This synchronization in case of photovoltaic system is done with the help of PLL, that is phase lock loop, like we do synchronization in case of synchronous machine. And generally you might have been seeing that a grid connected photovoltaic system becomes de-operative when the grid fails. And in the Indian condition, this grid failure is a big problem. As a result, what generally in some of the institutions and locality, you may see that the reference voltage is produced by the diesel generator set, and the diesel generator set act as a grid for the solar photovoltaic system, and the inverter gets synchronized to the DG set. However, one important point has to be kept in mind, that the capacity of the solar photovoltaic system and the diesel generator set, which is providing the reference, should be properly analyzed. Otherwise, there will be oscillation of the diesel generator set and the system cannot operate in parallel. As I have already mentioned, a double stage grid connected schematic is given here, where there is a DC-DC converter and there is a DC-AC converter. This DC-AC converter produces the AC output, whereas the DC-DC converter maintains the DC voltage at the inverter input and makes this DC-DC operation such that it extracts maximum power from the solar photovoltaic system. And you can see here that there is a PLL, and that PLL produces the reference current, and that reference current is compared with the actual current to produce a desired point control signal. And that control signal is now added with certain amount of U, that is external control signal, and that can be for your ancillary and other purposes. And to compensate the current, we can use a compensating current here, which is the filter current or the capacitor current added to it, because the net current which will be coming is the inductor current, which is our main aim. So that way we can now produce the PWM signal here based on a current control domain, so that we can get a sinusoidal current and the reference current at the point of grid interaction. This can also be extended, same philosophy can be extended to single stage. However, there will be a small difference here. In the double stage, the DC voltage is generally constant, whereas in a single stage, it varies with respect to MPPT algorithm. And when it varies with respect to MPPT algorithm, then the stability and the operation of the inverter becomes a little bit challenging. Now, in a hybrid mode, when both grid and loads are being fed from the photovoltaic system, like a house is there and the house is grid connected as well as there is a solar photovoltaic system, then the schematic is given here, where the solar photovoltaic injects current at the PCC point where both load and grid are connected to each other. Now, this control operation can be done with a simple PI controller, or can be done with new approach of control like fuzzy control, neural control, sliding mode control, and many other things. Also, a new philosophy of proportional resonant control can be used in the case of your control schematic. The function of a current controller is to track the reference current which is generated by the control algorithm. So either we can go for PI or we can go for PR. And the control algorithm required is to generate the synchronous reference frame, and the reactive power can also be produced, and the symmetrical component theory can be extended. Any doubt till now?
No, sir.
Now, the PV system control operation can be extended, where the frequency system, that frequency support can be realized by having a reference current which is proportional to change in frequency, and that can be integrated to the photovoltaic control. Apart from frequency, many other things can also be integrated, like harmonics, like your voltage control, so that the grid connected inverter can act as a multifunctional inverter per se. Now, the multifunctional inverter can also be made to be a dispatchable source if we derate the photovoltaic and do not operate them in the MPPT mode, so that any power command can be given to the solar photovoltaic system, and the derated amount of power can be handled in such a way that it can provide a dispatchable power to the grid, and both real and reactive power can be made dispatched based on a set point provided by the grid operator. To achieve that, the DC voltage control is imbibed, where the DC voltage control provides the real part of the current, which can be your loss component or can be your command component. Generally, if it is added with a command, then we add a summer here and put a command, so that the loss is provided by the VDC rep minus VDC control, and a separate command is provided to provide the desired amount of current. And the reactive part of the inverter current is generally done with respect to the voltage, but in general, this PI controller is not used. We use a simple proportional control so that we can have the Drup philosophy put into its operation, because it is very difficult to go for a grid voltage control using the reactive power control, because grid is a very big system as compared to the inverter being used. As I have already mentioned, the autonomous mode can also have op MPPT operation, and the Drup can be added to it for multiple operation. So this is autonomous mode I am leaving. So when you do this grid connected system, then you will have certain amount of issues while sending the current to the grid. And that is mainly because the impedance of the feeder line. So when there is a line, that line will have some resistance and inductance, and that will create problem for the injection of current from the inverter to the actual grid. Because of that, we can see here that the voltage will rise, and to the voltage rise phenomenon to handle, we have to go for the tape changing operation of the transformer. While going for tape changing operation of the transformer, you will face that the transformer life will be jeopardized. Besides that, the inertia of the system also will reduce, because there is no rotating part involved in the photovoltaic system. And because the inertia will reduce, we will be in trouble of getting frequency variation when these inverters are being integrated with rotating machines. Similarly, the intermittency of photovoltaic system may lead to voltage fluctuations, overcurrent and overvoltage protection, including mal-operation of overcurrent protection equipment, can be an challenge. Besides that, the losses may increase, and we'll see how the loss will increase when the solar photovoltaic system is integrated into its distribution grid. Now here you can see that when the solar photovoltaic system is put into the operation, that is the rooftop solar one, you can see here that when there is no solar injection, 0%, this blue line is the baseline. However, as the solar power increases, there will be a large belly coming into picture, where you can see at 100%, even it goes to a large negative value. You can see here, the maximum here is 1. On the contrary, at the peak solar power, you can see here that the belly is very, very large. And this 100% is basically the energy consumed, not the power, remember. As a result, you can see here the ramping up from this afternoon to the evening is very large as against the ramping up that is there in the normal scenario. Because of this, there is challenge in the grid integration of rooftop solar system, and many a times we keep it around this so that reverse power should not happen in the distribution line. If the reverse power happen, that means if the power crosses the transformer, then our protection scheme will get jeopardized, because protection scheme is not designed to handle the reverse power condition. Same thing is now given in a different way, and the feeder is very important, and the feeder impedance is a parameter to be considered for the proper operation of the photovoltaic grid integrated system. Now, as I have mentioned, the solar photovoltaic injection will give rise to voltage rise. Here, a proper picture is given where we can see that as the load increases in a normal scenario, the voltage decreases. Now, if we put a capacitor bank at the transformer point, we can see that the voltage is more or less constant and within a band operating. But when this is the case and we integrate the solar photovoltaic system, the voltage rise occurs, and that is dangerous, and my equipments connected to the system may get damaged because of this voltage rise. Therefore, we have to properly take care of this voltage rise situation. This voltage rise situation can be handled by means of tape changing transformer and line voltage regulator, and avoid using fixed capacitor bank. Rather, we should go for variable capacitor so that we can modify the net capacitance injection, hence the rise in voltage. A more effective solution can be there to have the photovoltaic plant absorb the VARs, and the voltage is reduced. However, when you absorb the VAR, the voltage in the VAR either can come from capacitor or can come from the grid. If it comes from the grid, then there will be penalty coming on the system. Hence, the grid operator may not like to go for the lagging power support. Hence, a challenge is to be handled properly, and a research platform is open for this challenge. Similarly, the tape changing transformer and the line voltage regulators can be placed in distribution system to go for the proper operation of the capacitor bank and LTC. And the step voltage change can be handled by the proper operation of the tape changing transformer, because these tape changing transformer are generally mechanical transformer and not very smooth in its operation. An interesting phenomenon happens in case of grid integrated solar photovoltaic system. When the solar injection become more and more, the power reversal occurs, and as the power reversal occurs, the loss will increase. This has happened in a situation in a island in India also, where before photovoltaic injection they are lost, and the photovoltaic injection after the loss, the cable were unable to handle the power flow because the loss becomes very high during the noon period or midday period, and you can see here that this becomes very large. So the cable design becomes a challenging one for the distribution system, and if it is already laid out, in that case it becomes more practical to handle the solar photovoltaic injection. Besides, as I have already mentioned to you, the inertia can be an issue because the photovoltaic system is in fact a static system and it does not rotate. Because it does not rotate, there is no inertia existing. And if there is no inertia, then in that case, the frequency becomes a variable quantity. And the dip in frequency, that is the nadir point in the overall frequency, grid frequency, will reduce and it may make the system desynchronized. Therefore, there are now many smart inverters coming where we are artificially producing this inertia that is called as synthetic inertia to take care of this frequency variation of the grid. That can be done. Yes?
Yes,
That
sir.
Any question?
No, sir. You can move ahead, sir.
Okay. So that can be done by integrating the frequency variation into the real part of the current component and producing the net current component, which has a DC voltage current component as well as a current component coming from the frequency. And this can be used to provide me the real power component of the overall inverter. This type of operation is already mentioned in our guideline in many countries as well as in India. And if you want to see more into the grid integrated operation, you can see CEA website, that is Central Electricity Authority website, where they have mentioned what is the standards to follow for a grid connected operation to happen. Now, as I have already mentioned to you, that for a synchronization of the inverter, we need to go for PLL, that is phase lock loop. So the PLL is having a dynamics by itself, and those PLL dynamics plays a very vital role in the operation of the grid connected inverter, so that we'll be able to make the synchronized operation of the grid. Because now the PLL is a mathematical approach, it is a phase lock loop algorithm. There will be a delay involved in it, and based on the delay, there could be a oscillation in the system, because we know that the Breckhausen criteria tells if the total delay is such that it becomes 180 degree in a negative feedback system, then it will start oscillating. So this PLL also will responsible to make certain oscillations in the inverter output. Hence, the PLL dynamics has to be properly seen for a grid connected inverter system. Besides, as we know that the inverter, when grid connected, can also handle some of the power quality issue like harmonics and unbalanced current generated due to the local loads, and these this power quality issue is to be handled properly. Now, because of this switching on and off of the loads, the voltage fluctuations and the power quality problem comes, and these photovoltaic inverters can be used as a custom power device to handle this power quality problem as well. However, this need to be properly seen and properly design. So a simple power quality loop that can be used rather is given here, where the reactive power component is added with the power quality reactive power component to produce the net reactive power component of the inverter current. And similarly for the real power thing, we can do that. Now, by generating proper reference current, the same converter used for achieving the real and reactive power injection can now be used for harmonic compensation and unbalanced current compensation as well. Besides, the ancillary control based on symmetrical component theory and instantaneous power theory can be used to go for a three-phase four-wire configuration and achieve the desired amount of power quality improvement due to the loads which are polluting the grid. Another problem is the voltage unbalance that may come because of the rooftop photovoltaic system. And this voltage unbalance becomes more prominent specifically for single phase system, because the phase injection can be different for different installation of photovoltaic system. Because they can be different, as a result, the current can be different and the drop in the line can be different, which can make the unbalanced scenario in the voltage. This unbalanced scenario that can be created in the voltage due to photovoltaic injection will make the induction motor jeopardize because of the negative sequence component of the voltage, and the torque fluctuations of the induction motor may come into picture. However, if we properly control that, then that becomes an advantage to us, where we can properly manipulate the current so that the unbalancing can be properly addressed. As I have already mentioned, to have the synchronization, we have to go for a PLL, and to go for a PLL, generally we use DQ transformation to achieve the PLL. On the contrary, to go for a single phase PLL instead of a three-phase one, we need to go for different approach, and generally we go for unit template approach or the SOGI based approach. However, there can be also a alpha beta based approach where we can go for a single phase synchronized PLL. Apart from that, there has to be a islanding detection in your grid connected operation, because we do not know where the grid will fail, and there could be a intentional islanding or an unintentional island. If it is an intentional islanding and your inverter starts feeding the power to the grid, then the person who is in operation of the grid may die. Hence, a islanding detection is a must. And there are different standards, and IEEE 1547 standard says that within 2 seconds, we must detect and disconnect the inverter. So there are different islanding detection algorithm used for grid connected operation, and this is a absolute research topic, how to make the islanding detection so that we can disconnect the inverter at the desired point, which is a paramount important case in case of the grid connected operation. Therefore, it is required to go for the detection of the islanding very quickly, and it is important. So this is all about some of the issues that I have been, that the grid connected operation of the solar photovoltaic system can see, and detail of this thing can be discussed in different platform. And this is all the things that I have discussed can be one research topic. And I want now a proper interaction from the participants so that they can do certain work. The floor is open for discussion.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. It is our great honor to have our FDP. The lecture was very, very insightful about all interesting facts about grid connected PV, single and double stage grid connected system for the whole PV setup, PV generator based systems and its control operation, multifunctional inverters, issues like stage reverse, power flow, and then we had listened about different issues like power loss, voltage unbalance, power quality issues, inertia due to dynamic systems. And it was very interesting to know about the synthetic inertia as well, and all about the PLL algo islanding detection. Sir has explained it so beautifully. Thank you so much, sir. Now, I would request the participants, if they have any queries, you can unmute yourself and ask Professor about your queries, or you can just type it in the chat box itself. Queries from the participants, please.
Are the participants listening?
I hope so, sir.
Yes, sir.
So if you have listened to the lecture, then you should have bundles of queries. Because I have not touched any detail. So anything you take, there will be a query.
Yes, any questions, participants? Sir, one question we have in our chat box, it is from Samantha Ray, and he had asked about the synthetic inertia.
What he is asking?
Can you please tell me about synthetic inertia again, sir?
Okay. Are you able to see the screen now?
Yes, sir, it is visible, sir.
A PV curve you are able to see?
Sir, the slide shows maximum power point tracking.
Yes. Now you see, when you have two synchronous generator connected to each other and there is a load change. The load change is suddenly provided by the kinetic energy stored in the synchronous generator, and because of that the rotation of the synchronous machine reduces. The speed of the synchronous machine reduces. And because the speed of the synchronous machine reduces, the frequency reduces. And therefore, the inertial power
Sir, just a moment.
Subhita ma'am, please mute yourself.
Yeah. So because of that, the load change, suddenly the speed drops, and this phenomenon you might have seen in any generator. Even in a shop, when the generator is there, emergency power is there, then when you switch on a load, the speed falls. You might have seen it. This speed fall is related to frequency in case of a grid phenomenon. And this speed fall is also related to the inertial power that is stored in the generator, that is half I omega square. Now this half I omega square, that is the inertial power stored in the generator, is because of the rotation of the rotor. And if you have more and more inertia, that is it can be done with respect to inertia constant, which is I, or it can be done with respect to the speed of the rotation. Generally, in a grid connected operation, the speed is constant. So the mass of the generator plays a very vital role in providing the inertia. In case of solar photovoltaic system, neither the mass exists nor the rotation exists. So the kinetic energy stored in the inverter is zero. Because that is the sense, now when you replace synchronous generator with inverter based system, the net inertia of the grid reduces. And because the net inertia reduces, the frequency of the grid will now fall to a larger dip as against a smaller dip in case of the normal scenario. Because of that, we have to produce a inertia-like response from the solar photovoltaic system. Then we can tell it to be a synthetic inertia, virtual inertia, artificial inertia. Many names can be given to it. To do that, generally we can do a derating operated system, and instead of running it at MPPT, you run it at up MPPT operation. And now at this point, you start providing a power which is proportional to frequency so that it can increase and decrease across this point. So this increase and decrease, if it is done with respect to df by dt, rate of change of frequency, then that extra power that is being produced apart from this operating point will be equivalent to inertial power that is coming from the rotating machine, because these are also very fast devices. Hence, the synthetic inertia can be produced from the inverter itself. Am I clear now?
Sir, one more question. Can you please suggest any software for designing so that power quality issues can be minimized?
That can be done. See, power quality issues can be minimized by, means if you want to do a simulation, you can do MATLAB, you can do PSCAD, you can do maybe your SAMDisk can also provide, but MATLAB will be good for you.
Okay, sir. So we have another question, that is, if electricity obtained from solar farms cannot be stored for later use, what is being done to solve that problem? As lithium-ion batteries will result in a huge investment.
Yes, that is why, as I mentioned to you, we cannot just make our grid totally story means solar in a near future. We have to go for the conventional machines, and we have to increase gradually the solar penetration, and the storage thing will come in a future, because lithium ion storage is not a solution definitely today. However, there are many big storage things are coming. For example, I can say the gravity storage, hydrogen storage, then pump storage. So different new philosophies are coming where big amount of energy can be stored. However, that has not yet become fully commercialized. It is still in the research domain. And therefore, I am saying it is a process in which we can finally lead to the full-fledged operation of the whole renewable based grid. And that is why I told it is grid connected and off grid or autonomous one. What you are saying, in fact, an grid which is such big that it is like a autonomous one. Am I clear?
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes.
Actually, sir, I am Manoj Kumar Behra, research scholar, NIT Silchar, sir. Actually, I am working on PV tracking, MPPT tracking. Sir, I have one question. If PV is fully illuminated to sun, and that time there is no load across the PV panel. Either that
Yeah.
time my PV panel is generating power or not.
No,
Though,
it will,
can you
it will
explain,
not
sir,
generate.
what is the
Why
going
it is not generating?
on?
Why
Yes,
it is
sir.
not generating? That is your question, right? Okay. If you go to
Yes,
the
sir. Yes,
physics
sir.
of the photovoltaic system, it generates power by means of majority and minority carrier from the semiconductor devices. The photovoltaic current is generally the minority carrier, and the depletion layer is provided by the majority carrier. Now, these two becomes combining together the net current in the system. Maybe you can see, if you are you able to see my this thing mouse?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, just see my mouse movement. If I am having a graph like this, suppose this is my graph, or do I have a IV curve? No. Hey, Manas, can I write something here?
Yes, you can write, sir. Yes, you can write, sir. You can write, sir. I can open it in that.
Okay, do it.
You understand? प्रेजेंटेशन में तुम लोग लिख सकते थे
एक्सप्लोर से कुछ करते थे ना?
तो जाते थे इसका प्रॉपर्टीज में पीडीएफ को कर सकते हैं
हाँ, इसको कर सकते हैं, पीडीएफ हो जाएगा। या पैंट खोल दो नहीं तो ना।
वो पहले जो है वो डीएक्टिवेटेड है।
ड्रॉ करना है ग्राफ।
Sir,
हाँ
you can enable the editing on PPT and then do a right click. Enable it from that yellow pan that is showing on the top.
हम्म,
Enable it.
voting.
Yellow
Enable
pan
editing.
protected view it is showing, no? Enable editing. Right click.
No, it is not there. या इसको ये यही मोड में होगा क्या? वो तो फुल स्क्रीन तुम कर रहे हो। कोई भी एक ले लो कहीं पे भी। हाँ ठीक है, ठीक है। आर यू एबल टू सी द स्क्रीन?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now you see, suppose this is I, this is V. Due to the photovoltaic current, that is the photon injection, I get a negative current, which is due to the magnetic area, which is given by Hc by lambda, photonic power. Now, this is my 0 point, okay? Due to my semiconductor, there is a diode characteristics, which is like this. And this current is due to the magnetic area. You can see that if you have a diode, the current flows from here to here, and this is the majority current. In the positive side, the hole, and that is the piece is hole, and N is your electron. Now, if you add these two current, then till this point, almost it is 0. So you will get a curve like this. That is this current plus this current. If you do, then you will get this current. Now, if you invert this current, this curve, then you will get this IV curve. Am I clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now,
Yes, sir.
when it is open circuit, what will happen? What will happen is there will be such a voltage developed so that whatever current is coming from the minority will be cancelled out due to the majority. That means at this point, the things will stabilize, because at this point, the current due to the majority part and the current due to the minority part becomes equal, and we get the zero current. And since it is an open circuit one, zero current is required, and hence we will get the open circuit voltage and the current is zero. Am I clear now?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
So we have another question. This is from Sushri. She asks that how can we select the voltage and current of a PI controller parameter in an islanded microgrid?
See,
How can we select voltage and current?
see, in case of islanded microgrid, the control is not voltage and current. You cannot control the current. You can control the voltage because current is dependent on the load. So generally the control is with the voltage and frequency, not with the voltage and current. So voltage is selected based on the magnitude and frequency is selected based on the requirement. For example, I can say in India, we can take either 400 volt 50 hertz or 230 volt 50 hertz based on the single phase and three phase operation. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Any participants have any other questions?
Yes, ma'am. I posted in the chat box. Is there any software in which we can do designing so that the power quality issues can be minimized?
That is, you can do that in MATLAB, Simulink.
Okay. Sir, any
Hello.
base? You have any base paper regarding that?
Many papers are there, you can see. Maybe thousands of papers are there.
Hello, madam. This is
Okay, sir.
Radhikari from Bangalore.
Yes,
Yes.
sir. Okay, sir.
Hello.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
thank you for this excellent tips, sir. Very informative. But
Thank
as
you.
per Atal to appear for a test, correct, on the last day.
Mm-hmm.
So can we get those slides, sir? Because too many things at a time, we cannot remember everything.
I think Risha might have already recorded the thing, right?
Yes, sir. Recording is going on, sir.
So you will
Okay.
provide the recording, right?
Yes, sir. Recording I'll provide, sir.
So will it
Okay.
not have the slides with you?
Yes, sir. That can be managed, sir. Not a
Okay,
problem.
done.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, if there is no question, then probably we can close the session.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
thank you, sir. Thank you so much for. It was an honor to have you in our FTP, and thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, thank you.
I
So
think
I'm
we will
now,
conclude this,
yeah.
sir. So
So
we
I'm
will
leaving now
conclude.
then.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay, okay, thank you, thank you.